Time about? Is uh, you see, it was your wish. I mean, you want me to take even half an hour, post to half an hour means I don't mind. Okay. Okay. Let us. We can discuss this tomorrow because even Bob will come tomorrow. I guess he's not. He is not turned on today. I guess I don't see him today. We'll have a discussion tomorrow, and we'll second day we'll discuss and we'll decide if we can take. Okay. I don't mind of taking anything. That's your convenient time. You can tell me. I'll take that. Because it's hardly a half an hour either early or half an hour after the late. Hey, can you see my desktop now? Okay. Oh. Uh, hey, can you send a text message mail to me? I'll send you that email. Mm-hmm. Okay. I'll do that today. Tomorrow, most probably. Tippling also. Okay. I'll coordinate with them. Okay. And see today, I'll create a user account. Okay, this is very lengthy. Okay, guys, I logged in to 000 client. Okay, the key code SU01. SU01. See, SU key codes is for user maintenance and user administration. SU01 is to create a user. And you have a couple of options here. As in SU01, you can create a user account, you can change the user properties, display user properties, delete a user account, copy the existing user properties to another user, lock and unlock the user account, change the password. Ravi, I'm creating a user account, Ravi, create, title, Mr., last name, Kumar, fax number. I'm not using any fax number. See, this is address. I mean, address from, this is all about your address. When while creating the user account, user address will be maintained here. Logon data, password, initial password I'm using 123. User type is a dialog user, and these are all different types of user accounts that we create in the SAP. So by default, all the user accounts are dialog users. Communication user accounts, system user accounts, service reference, these are all, communication means, we have some built-in communication users account for background communication, just like RFC, remote function calling, and system account for administration purpose, service account for the remote guys, those who log into the SAP system for maintenance. So by default, all the SAP default user accounts will be created for type dialog. And validity, you can if you have any group, you can add the user to the group. Validity period from, and any accounting number, if you have if your organization has been defined, you can use those accounting numbers. Defaults, and okay, let me save this account. Security people will do it. I'm logging into the 000 with Ravi user ID. 123 is the password. So by default, first time it will ask you to change the password. I'm using as Inflex. I have created a user account in the SAP 000 client. The name is Ravi. So if I'm using any key code, for example SU01, I'll get a message, you are not authorized to use transaction SU01. Not only SU01, any key code. I can't use any G code. So Ravi cannot use any G code because Ravi account. Let me click on change properties. Ravi permissions. You can see roles. Ravi is not part of any role. Ravi is not part of any security profile. So every user should be part of some profile, some roles. So let me add this. Let me give it. So in the user properties, you can see roles and profiles. So profiles define the authorization, just like what type of access the user has. The profile defines the type of access. Role defines the user role. Role contains more than one profile. A profile is a type of access. A role can have multiple profiles defined in a role. Next, profiles are created in the role. This is a default SAP built-in profile. I'm just giving an example. SAP All and SAP New. If I give SAP All and SAP New, then user will become the system administrator. I'm logging off from Ravi. Let me log in with Ravi of user account. can see now. So Ravi can use SU01. Ravi can use any T code now because he's a part of system. He's a part of a profile. He's a part of SAP all profiles. See, all SAP system authorization. SAP almost user will catch all the authorizations in the SAP. SAP new authorization check. So if you deploy any new packages, so user will get access to those new packages also. So not so during during security implementation, we will specify, we will create our own profiles, we will create our own roles, we will define to the user. So these are the predefined profiles that exist in the SAP that comes during the installation. So these are all predefined. User will get complete authorizations to the SAP. So this is how we manually set the authorizations, the security to the SAP users. So SAP has two default users. One is DDIC and the other one is SAP Star. Till SAP 4 are till SAP not still, it is still till SAP 4.7 version. Default passwords for these two user accounts are DDIC 199.192.0706 is a default password for DDIC, and SAP Star default password is 06071992. This for SAP 3.0, for SAP 3.5, for SAP 4.0, 4.5, 4.6, 4.7. These are the default password for the default account DDIC and SAP Star. So these are the dates you can see. Not exactly for all versions. Every version will have some default password, and SAP 4.6 and 4.7 will have 919920706 or 06071992. SAP 4.6 A, B, C, D. There are four versions in SAP 4.6. So I mean to say earlier SAP default user accounts has a predefined password. It is for DDIC 199200706, for SAP Star 06071992, and for ECC version, just like ECC 5.0 and ECC 6.0, the passwords are given during the installation. So in our installation, we gave the password for DDIC and we gave the password for SAP Star account. The SU transaction codes are completely user-related transaction codes. User account creation, user account modification, user deletion, user profile. All user administration transaction codes starts with if you accept the profile generator too. You can see SU01 to create the user IDs for all clients. In all clients, you can use SU01 to create the user account. Okay. Clients has to be defined. Then only we'll get access. And the SCC4. No, users will have access to only one client. It depends. I can't say exactly because administration, even the administration guys will have access, very limited access. They can't have access to all the clients. Same, just see, it's similar to that. No, if you are a system admin guy, you are looking at areas. You are looking at file server 1, and you may not have access to file server 2. File server 2 will have access to other other system admin guys. So it is not mandatory that you should have access to all the servers. Similar to that in SAP, it is not mandatory to have access to all the clients. So I have created another user called Elizabeth, and I have copied the user properties from Ravi to Elizabeth. Yes, I'm using Inflex. Yeah. So you are also the SAP administrator. Means you are part of the profile SAP underscore all. So this is manually we can set the security profiles to the user. Means if we know the security profile name, I can set manually to the that profile to the user. So my question is, how can we define the security matrix for the users? In SAP, in SAP, okay, in SAP, we will the security admin guys will work on a matrix, a security matrix report. That security matrix report will define the user and authorization. Suppose if in my team, if I have 10 user accounts, 10 users, I'll, I'll, um, I'm leading a team of 10 users. I'll prepare a security of report that is called FOD. Sheet, it's an Excel sheet. I will define all the authorizations in that sheet, and that sheet will be approved and it will be sent to the base admin guy to to configure the authorizations to the user. So giving authorizations to the users manually is not recommended in the SAP, because SAP underscore all will have access to all the SAP transaction code. So similar to that, if you take any other profile that may have some additional access where users can misuse. So that's why for every project, for every team, basis admin guys will create a separate role and separate profile where they will define only appropriate access in the profile and then those profiles will be given to the users. So SU01 is to create a user account, is to change the user properties, is user to delete a user account, is to copy the user account properties to another new user, user to lock and unlock the account, to change the password. The other one is SU02. 02 was used till 4.6, and after that, profile generator tool is used to create the profile. It was used to create the profile, security profile till 4.6, and after that from 4.7 onwards we are using profile generator tool to create the user profile. So SU02 we will not be working on SU02 now. Hey, it is given that do not use this transaction any longer for profile and user administration. Use profile generator tool instead. So we will be using profile generator tool. So profile generator tool I'll discuss. SU03 is another transaction code. You can see SU03, it has all the objects. These are all security objects. So basis objects means basis security. 1, 2, 3. There are 3 basis security. Base administration, development environment, central function. Let me log in, open the basis administration. So these are all objects in that object class. So this is my object class. Object class, all the objects. So you can see, in the object class, you can see the profiles. There are no field values. You can see different profiles and different object DB. So some profiles are activated and some profiles are not activated. Means you can see these are all profiles. All these are profiles. Profiles in the object field, in the so and so object field. So this is a role. These are all roles. All these roles are part of object class. This is a composite role. Composite role means a role, multiple roles can be a part of composite role. Yeah, this is a BC underscore is a composite. Object class is a composite role. So this, yes, all this here are composite role. Every composite role will have multiple, will have roles again. No, these are predefined roles. So these are roles again, standard roles. Every standard role will have the profile. These are predefined. These are existing in the SAP in the 000 client. So if you create a new client, you can't find all these objects predefined. You should copy these objects to the new client. That is why 000 is called as a template. It's a different procedure. We follow the different procedure. It's a part of client administration that we will be discussing later on. So we will discuss security part first and how to copy that object from one system to another system, and we'll discuss later on. So SU03 is to, it maintains the object classes. SU04 does not exist. SU05 is used to create the internet account, ITS account, web enable account. If you have ITS server, that will be useful. SU6789 does not exist. 10. SU10, you can see, I can create mass user account. Ravi1, okay, sorry. SU10, R1, E1. If I want to create two user accounts, or I can create more than two, I am creating two user accounts at a time. It is not asking for password. I'm creating at a time, but it is not prompting for any password. Let's save this. Changes will affect a large number of users. Number of users to change to, do you really want to consume? Yes. Okay, these are two user accounts. You can see password generated automatically. The password is automatically generated to these two user accounts. SU10 is used to create multiple user accounts at a time, but you can't specify the passwords to these accounts. You can check the passwords in the log. See, I'm sorry? You can directly go to the log. After creating the account, you can see the log. Create, already exists. A1, B1. Okay? Create the user account, save. Can you see the log? Expand. Yes. Expand it. Yes. Well, you can send either mail, or you should send through mail, or if you have any other procedure to forward the password, you can do that. So every user will have a different password here. SU11, SU12 it is change the mass user settings at a time. It's same to SU10. SU13, 14, I don't think so it exists. SU20, so these are all authorization checks. We call it as authorization checks. So by default, all the windows in the SAP will be in the display mode. Click on change mode. Dot include. No, it is not a. So authorization field, and data element. So every authorization will have authorization field. Let me select one authorization. You see, this is field name, data element, just to check the details of the authorization field. Now, what is authorization field? Means every authorization will have the field value. So this is how to define this authorization. I'll be taking in detail about this section in detail about authorization. SU21. Hello. I'm sorry. What is authorization? Authorization. Authorization is a type of access given to the user. Authorization means, suppose if I'm a basic administrator, so I'm giving access to SU01. I mean, I'm giving access to you as SU01. In SU01, I'm giving a type of access. So SU01, you can create a user, but you cannot delete the user account. It is an authorization. Yeah. No, we will define the authorizations to the user. So you can see my screen. So these are major, which are very frequently used authorization codes. SU01, SU02, SU03, object class, SU05 to create internet users, SU10 to create mass user creation, SU12 mass user changes. PFCG is a tool to create and manage the roles and profiles in the SAP. So R3 security is a PFCG. Security it defines complete R3 security. PFCG is it defines the R3 security. That's the only T code you can define the roles and profiles in the SAP. SAP security is, SAP authorization. Hey, can you hear me? Okay. Yeah, my connection is reconnecting again, that's why. Hey, you can hear me. So you can't see the desktop, I guess. Can you see my desktop? Give me one more, let me check this. Can you hear me now? Is my voice clear to you? Okay. Yeah, I don't know, during this time why it is giving them problem every day. Okay. You don't see my screen, I guess. Okay. PFCG the transaction code for roles and profiles. We can create roles and profiles using PFCG. That's the only key code that we can use for PFCG, for creating roles and profiles. SAP security means authorization. Authorization is defined authorization class, authorization objects, authorization profiles, authorization field values. These are all classes, object, profiles, field values are part of the authorization in the SAP. And when you come to roles, SAP has two different roles, as I told you, composite role and standard role. In the standard role, you can define the profiles, and in the composite role is it contains the it's a combination of one or more standard roles. My internet connection is giving some trouble again. Just trying to share my desktop.